What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade basketball analysis coming to you with the second to last division ranking and predicting who will be the top five in the order of who will be the most successful in this division going into the 2021 season as it has already started. Obviously, I'm going to start from bottom to top and tell you why I think teams will be higher or lower. This does not include the fact that injuries and trades have not been done. I'm just basing on what I see, what they have right now, and how good they can be in the future, even if they make acquisition. So this is a prediction that's fun. Let me know what you guys agree or disagree or your list in the comment section below. Other than that, let's get to it. Number five, the Sacramento Kings, who have got off to a decent start so far, having De'Aaron Fox and Buddy Hield locked down long term really helped them out. Getting two star players that play well off of each other, that complement each other very well. And, these two guys really have a lot of confidence and swagger. Even though they might not be a great team, they still go out there and compete. They still go out there and do what they're supposed to do. And even though De'Aaron Fox might not be a superstar and may never will, he still is a very good player, and he has continually got better, and he has continually did fairly well on the Sacramento team. And they have a roster that's very interesting. They don't play great defense, and they're not the greatest offensive team ever. And that's why they continue to stay at the bottom. They missing a superstar. They missing another scorer. And losing Bogdanovich didn't help them out this year, as they was close to making the playoffs 2 years ago. They was way worse last year because of injuries and a lot of other things. But at the end of the day, they failed their goal of making it to the playoffs the last 2 years, and they took a step back last year. Now I think they're going to be around the same where they was last year. But at the same time, they are one piece away. If they do have another bad season, they have a good chance of getting a top five pick. And if they get a top five pick, maybe they get that guy that can be a perfect complementary piece to Buddy Hield and De'Aaron Fox. And maybe they can finally get over the hump and become a playoff team in the future. And other than that, it just really wait and see, as there's not really much they can do right now to get better besides continuing to allow their guys to play and develop and hope they can turn it into something better than they are right now. And then they just have to live with that result. But other than that, they are stuck in mediocrity. They are going to be stuck at being a bad team. But at least they got two cornerstone pieces that other teams don't have. And at least they play well and complement each other. Number four, Golden State. Usually Golden State will be at number one on this list the last couple years. Usually they'll be the best team on this list, but that has, been tarnished and gone. What comes up must come down. They was once the best team in the NBA. Once was the multiple time NBA champions. Matter of fact, they was back to back champions when they had Kevin Durant. And now you look at them now, they're going to be barely a playoff team this year. And it all depends on Steph. If Steph is MVP Steph, they might be a little bit better than what people think. If he's the Steph that we've been seeing, they might just be a play-in team. But one thing I do know, they do have enough to be better than the Kings. They have the coaching, they have the veterans, and they have a superstar in Steph Curry, who already willed them to a W, and he also helped them get another win. And even though they're not going to be a great offensive team because they don't have the pieces to be that, they might not be a great defensive team because they don't have the lineup and the pieces to be that either. But they will be a very competitive team, and they will steal a lot of games. They also will, lose a lot of games too. That's why I have them so low. But until they can figure out the best way to use Oubre, Wiggins, and the other role players on this team, they're going to be bad. But, they also are smart enough, and they also understand the game enough to win enough games to make it to the playoffs, in my personal opinion. Even though they're not going to be a title contender, even though their championship window might be closing, especially with Clay missing 2 straight seasons, and we don't know what he's going to be when he comes back, they still are a pretty decent to okay team, and that should be enough to get them at the bottom of the West, and that should be enough to get them as the fourth best team in this division. So now we just have to see how they continue to put these pieces around Stephen, Clay, and Draymond, and will it be worth keeping them long term if they can ever really become back a championship team? But I still do think they have enough. And, sometimes that's good, but sometimes that also puts you in a situation where you're not a lottery team no more because you was good enough to make the playoffs. But nothing they can do. They have a winning culture, they have a winning brand, and they still do feel like if they can get Steph and Clay and Draymond on the court, they can compete with anybody. Now we just gonna have to see will that be true, or will they be bad enough to get another lottery pick to add to this team and start rebuilding in a different direction while still being a team that can compete for the playoffs. So we'll see what they do. Number three, we have the Phoenix Suns. I feel like they have improved significantly. They was already borderline playoff team last year. They added more depth to their bench. They added Chris Paul, which was an upgrade, and that's something that they needed. And Devin Booker, Aiden, and them should be able to continue to get better this season and in the future. And all they really want to do is make the playoffs. They just want to be a playoff team, and I don't see why they can't be one of those this year, and they also should be way better. I look at them as a team that should be able to crack the top six in the West if they can stay healthy and if they can continue to play together. They should be able to close games. They should be able to blow out teams like they just did, and they should be able to compete with anybody in the Western Conference. They might not be a championship team, but they are one of the best teams, especially if their young players can continue to develop and continue to play well. And if they can do that, they definitely can be a dangerous team in the Western Conference. But with their young guys not being ready for the big moments, and the young guys still, going to have to get used to winning and finding out how to win, I do have them having growing pains, and I do have them having making mistakes, not being consistent, and that might cost them being one of the championship contenders this year. But you gotta look at the future. They already look good. They already look like they're going to be one of the better teams. Now it's just about trying to figure out what you have. And now that you know you have the pieces that you have, how can you get the best out of them? And how can you get them to play more consistent and dominant basketball each and every night? And I think Chris Paul helps with that. But at the same time, I do think it's better teams than them. And that's why I have them third. Number two, the Clippers. Having Paul George and Kawhi Leonard and guys that can score and create only makes this team better than it was last year when it comes to fit. Also adding Serge Ibaka, a great defender, rim protector, and a guy that can space the floor at that center position. Plus having a huge amount of depth on the guards and the wings that can score and create. This team's still going to be dangerous. I know people don't like Paul George. I know people think that he's done. But at the same time, they just have way too much talent outside of Paul George not to be great. Their defense is going to have to significantly improve, which we haven't seen just yet. But they also look better than they was last year on the defensive end. And offensively, they're clicking. And even though they got blew up by 51, they also was able to blow out multiple teams when their shots are falling. So this is a team that's going to live and die by the jumper. And if their shots are falling, they're going to be tough to beat. If they're not, they're going to be beatable or they're going to have trouble, staying with the better teams as the season continue to go. And the biggest question is health. Can a two-star player stay on the court? Can they stay healthy? Because if they are, they're going to be a dangerous team and they're going to be the best team outside of the Lakers in the NBA Western Conference. And that's why I got them second. Number one, the Lakers. You got LeBron, you got AD, you have a better team that you had last year. You have better scorers, better creators, and guys that play well off of each other. The only reason why they're going to have a difficult season is finding chemistry of who's good, who's where, and who should be there because they have a lot of guys getting more minutes and they have a lot of changes that they made on their roster. But as the season go on, they should be able to take over the Western Conference, and their confidence is already through the roof now. But they just got to build consistent habits with their new talent, and once they do that, LeBron and AD with the team and the players that they put around them with the coaching of Frank Vogel, they should be the most dominant team in this conference, and they should be the best team in this conference and the best team in this division. and that's why I got them finishing in one. They have the best player. They have the best second. They have the first and the second best player. They have a good defense, and they have a better offense. And that's why I think the Lakers should be the number one team in the NBA and in this division. Check out my website, AnalysisPlayground.com. Link will be in the description, comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, AnalysisPlayground.com. Link will be in the description, comment section below. Like on Facebook to show support. Thanks for everybody that likes on Facebook. Thanks for everybody that decides to check it out. Also, you can buy merchandise on my Facebook. You can check that out. You can change the color of the hat, change the color of the shirt, customize it the way you want it to be. You can message me and get it shipped out to you. Also, you can buy merchandise exclusively on my Spreadshirt. There you will find the hottest items and items that's only available there. That will also be in the comment section in the description below. And if you don't want to support the channel, you can support it by liking and sharing. Liking and sharing allows the channel to reach more people. The more people that reach, the more the channel can grow. Also, if you're new to the channel, I upload videos every single day. So if you love basketball, you need a daily fix. I have content offers, free agency, trade deadline, playoff prediction, top 10 list of season previews, and also discussions of the hottest topics, also breakdowns of players, legends, rookies, and also summer league coverage and draft coverage. And if you love that, I have over 2,000 videos to prove it. Other than that, hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Stay up, do your thing, and Quinn Wade, that's my analysis. I'm done.